Hi there folks, welcome to another video by the brilliant expat Taffy. Just a short one for a bit of entertainment. Now folks, this video concerns a recent video by expat Taffy, Shill Stompers and Apollo Detectives. This video here, all for one and one for free. One of our videos where the brilliant expat Taffy will be showing you all that there was only one lem. All the lems are the same. Just the same lem used on the stage setup for all the missions, folks. In that video, we've got many NASA nutcases, Joan Evans, Cornelius Crewe, and the rest of them, cleric. But one certain clue by the idiot Cornelius Crewe had me laughing my knackers off. I just couldn't let this go by. Now, those stupid comments, they just get hidden in amongst all the other comments as you go along. And normally, a comment made from one of these nutters to the brilliant expat Taffy is normally only read by the brilliant expat Taffy. Now, I think I've got the answer to these idiots, and that is to expose these stupid comments, not just to me, but to the world, so that everybody can see what insane idiots they are. Here's that Screwy's first comment we want to be concerned with. Read it here now. Nobody dug a crater, and under the lem is in the same vicinity, not necessarily the same place, a small yet important difference. And here is the second one, folks. Now this is really laughable. Look what Cornelius Crewe replied here. The moon is covered in holes of varying sizes. Stupid. There aren't any stage props. However, all equipment no longer needed was discarded. Not sure why that puzzles you. Now folks, those two comments from that twat, Cornelius Crewe, are in response to two pieces of evidence the brilliant expat Taffy provided, showing that the Apollo 12 lem and the Apollo 14 lem are both one and the same on a stage setup. And if you missed our previous video on it, I'll show you those two pieces of irrefutable evidence here now. Here's the first photo we're going to be looking at. Apollo 12, AS12-46-6729. Here's a cropped section from under that Apollo 12 lem. And what this section shows you is 5 pieces of real damn evidence that the photo is fake and that the Apollo 12 lem is exactly the same lem as the Apollo 11 and it's the same one as Apollo 14. And the evidence is all in this cropped section here, folks. What you can see in this is the top left blue arrow is showing a crater dug out with a shovel. It hadn't been created by an asteroid because all the soil removed from it is just pushed to one side. You can see the mound of soil there. Another important point is it contains metal objects, and I'll identify those for you now. Another very important clue in this photo is the right arrow blue, which shows the same metal ring in this Apollo 12 as the one in the Apollo 11 lem photo. 5 pieces of damning evidence there, folks, that the Apollo 12 is the same lem as Apollo 11 is the same lem as Apollo 14. And more evidence coming up. Now, having just dealt with Apollo 12 and Apollo 11, if you haven't watched our previous video on this subject, we're now going to be dealing with this photo here, the Apollo 14 lem, AS14-66-9306. And here, folks, is a cropping from under that lem that I showed in our previous video. Now, one thing I didn't tell you in that previous video is another clue here. What you can see is the same dugout crater as in Apollo 12. You can see the objects in the crater, but another thing I never told you in the previous video was this see-through, clear rain sheet hanging down, the corner hanging down. Note that, it's very important. Look at the corner hanging down. Now folks, before we go any further, let's take another look at the comments by this idiot Cornelius Crewe, shall we? Before we have a good laugh. Let's read them again. Okay folks, let's read it again, shall we? The moon is covered in holes of varying sizes. Stupid. There aren't any stage props. However, all equipment no longer needed was discarded. Not sure why that puzzles you. Here you are folks, here's his second reply. Nobody dug a crater, and under the limb is in the same vicinity, not necessarily the same place. A small yet important difference. Now folks, from what you've seen so far, here's the conclusion we got from this nutter Cornelius Crewe. He said the moon is covered with holes. So by strange coincidence,
the Apollo 12 limb came down and sat on a hole.
And it landed smack on top of a hole or crater. No explanation how the soil got out of that crater and just went to one side. If it was Astrobrand here, he'd say, the extraterrestrials dug it out. And by coincidence, folks, according to this nutter Cornelius Crewe,
the Apollo 14 limb came down and slowly landed on the moon.
And it landed on top of a hole in the moon's surface. And strangely enough, folks, by coincidence,
the Apollo 12 limb that come down and landed on this hole.
The crew for Apollo 12 had objects. They said, we don't need these anymore, so rather than litter up the moon, they said we'll chuck them in that hole under the limb. And by strange coincidence, folks,
the Apollo 14 limb that came down and landed on top of a hole.
The astronauts for Apollo 14 had objects they didn't want anymore, so they said, instead of littering up the moon, we'll chuck them in the hole under the Apollo 14 limb. Now what I'll do, I'll give you a better look at the holes under these limbs. More explanation, folks, that Cornelius Crewe is totally mentally insane. Watch for coming up. Okay folks, here's something I haven't shown you before. Here we are, under the Apollo 14 limb. What you can see is the crater with the objects in it. And what you can also see with this that I didn't show you before, you've got a see-through clear plastic sheet hanging down. The corner, note the corner at the bottom, the corner of that sheet hanging down by the crater, folks. Now the only difference in this photo and the other photo of Apollo 12 is a slight different angle that the camera was taking the photo from. But let's take a look at the Apollo 12 one now. There you are folks, there's the Apollo 12 crater. And as you can see, which I didn't show you before, you've got the objects here in the crater, you've got the mound of soil. But something I didn't show you before, look at the yellow arrow, it's pointing to that clear see-through sheet, and the corner is hanging down. All you've got here is a slight different angle where the camera took the photo. And as you can see in this one, the blue arrow on the right shows the metal ring that's under Apollo 11, folks. No question about it. Apollo 11 equals Apollo 12 equals Apollo 14, and Cornelius Crewe equals Joan Evans and one big monkey, a bunch of mentally insane idiots. There you are, Screwy. A clearer view of the object that were tossed into the crater under the limb. And do you know what they are, Screwy? Well, I can tell you now. Okay, folks. As for those objects that were tossed into that little crater under the limb, let me assure you, they were not tossed there by any astronauts. They were tossed there by the stagehands. Because what them objects are is circular clamps that they clamped around the leg, they tightened up a bolt, and it had a chain on. And they had 4 of them around the leg. And the chain's going up to a hook on a crane. It's how they lowered the lem off a lorry down onto the stage setup surface. They took the clamps off on the chains and they just threw the clamps under the lem. Well, what do you think about that, folks? Anyone who disagree with the brilliant expat Taffy when I say the level of insanity amongst these idiots, Cornelius Crewe, Joan Evans, Brian Pop Robson, and all the other nutters, is too great to comprehend.